Everyone, Council, if we're ready to continue, please proceed.
Good afternoon, Chairman, and good afternoon, Commissioners, members of the audience. We are ready to proceed. The witness is here already.
Thank you.
I, Sarjo Sanneh.
Sarjo Sanneh.
The same thing. Keep on repeating.
I, Sarjo Sanneh.
Sarjo Sanneh.
Bank Lako.
So keep on repeating it. You should be coaching witnesses.
I, Sarjo Sanneh.
Sarjo Sanneh.
Sarjo Sanneh.
Do swear that
Benkali Lako.
Benkal Lako.
I'll speak the truth.
Mbetonyale fola.
Betonyale fola.
The whole truth.
Onyadama.
Tonyadama.
And nothing but the truth.
Nte fem fola me manke tonyati.
Nte fem fola me manke tonyati.
So help me God.
Woto alama ala yendema.
Alama stalla yendema.
Good afternoon, Mr. Sanneh.
Mr. Sanneh, itinya.
Inimbara.
Thank you.
Welcome to the TRRC.
Bismillah, TRRC.
Bismillah.
Thank you for coming and agreeing to give your testimony this afternoon.
Inumbara ba kela songola pur kana sedarol di TRRC jang nyintiri bulanna.
We have already been introduced as we have met, but you know that my name is Sagar.
I know
that.
And I will be the counsel guiding you today during your testimony.
Similar.
We have a few rules and regulations here at the TRRC that I would like to share with you. First of all, before we begin, I would like you to make yourself comfortable.
I'm ready for that.
And you have already chosen to speak in the Mandinka language. And therefore, just keep in mind that we have interpretation going on from Mandinka to English and the other local languages.
That's good.
And therefore, just keep your statements brief.
Leave
a short interval between my questions and your answers.
In kanna sorla nyimbe nyini karo furan la folo janite be jabiro kala isi mini second dan tambula je folo isaje jabiro ni nyini karo ni jabiro li kana sele nyoka.
That's all right.
Avoid overlapping speeches between myself and you.
Isaje kome ngafo nyame diamo ni kana sele nyoka ala diamo ani la diamo ni kana sele nyoka.
And also to allow the interpreters to follow what you are saying as well as the audience.
Isaje kanna sorla nyim fanang isaje asa long membe kering asa kanna sorno puru la moyer lalie. Bismillah.
Okay.
I have already warned you about your duty to tell the truth, but for emphasis, I will repeat it here again. Okay. I would like to tell you that it is a criminal offense to lie before the TRRC.
That's true.
Or to give any information which will be misleading to the commissioners.
Okay, that's all right.
I would also like to give you an overview of your testimony this afternoon.
Okay.
You're here in your capacity as an NIA officer.
Jang iben sio mendo jam bi ibe jang sio mendo jang wala nyinti ko enaye do kulala muiti.
Yes. In that capacity, we would like you to look back at the time you've spent at the NIA during the course of your employment and tell us what human rights violations you have personally witnessed or heard of.
dalilo kan tumala men bejang enaye do kula la muyti andum be refla ka kacha ko la men ya lon ko hadamadi nyandi tinyal le keta enaye je ite nyaaye men sedeya.
Bismillah.
Okay.
You have already told me as well that you have been personally victimized by the NIA.
Yen fonyele ite fon kunde yen fonyele ko ite fon keta molde me ya lon ko e kole ya soto enaye je wato men e beje.
Yes.
Despite the fact that you have worked there for many years loyally.
Wonya yedo ko keje sanji jama andungo sanji jama nyin kono yedo ko keje wato men na imu molde me ya lon ko itiye tiling ye ko yedo ko woni ne ibuge ma bo fenna.
Yes.
We would also like to hear from you, from that perspective, being an employee of the NIA and also being a victim of that same institution.
Ninka biyo dalilo kam belafla ka long tumala men imu do kulal tije anu inata na ka moti men fanan ya lon ko inata na deto soto ado ko nyin kono wato beje.
Okay.
I hope this is clear and you are ready to begin your testimony.
Lunjikita nyinnela ko nyin senata le ngai membe fo jang abe senata ndo be parere ne pour que la seyda ndiro nyin damuta.
Yes.
Kindly tell us what your full names are.
Silang isa fonye itoni kontongo isa fonye bam pour saferoto.
To Sarjo Sanneh.
My name is Sarjo Sanneh.
What is your dates and place of birth?
Ila wulu sangu sanjumalti ani wulu da sate jumal.
Ruta Kiang Kayaf.
I was born in Kiang Kayaf.
Nata stay in Banjul right now.
But later on I came down to stay in Banjul.
When were you born?
Sanjuma.
1977.
I was born in 1977.
Do you remember the exact date?
Lungo nying fangoy anin karo isa amutano la bang?
December 31st.
December 31st.
Thank you very much. And what is your present address? Where do you live right now?
Now, presently, I am resident at Banjul.
What is your occupation?
I am a mechanic.
What is your educational background?
With the help of Allah,
Arab school.
I went to an Arab school.
Grade 6.
Up to grade 6. That's where I was. I was also working, doing also this trade as a mechanic.
Before we move on to your training as a mechanic, kindly tell us what school you went to and what periods.
Jannim bitela do gora ka fo mo mechanical de silang talel londo nyinto ya dara damur damento andung ye karamu jumal mabe
de primary school ke Kayaf le Kiang Kayaf.
I did my primary school at Kiang Kayaf.
And where is that?
Kiang Kayaf we mbinto le banko kanjang
LRR.
It's in the LRR, Lower River region. I left there and came to Banjul.
Do you remember what years you were at Kiang Kayaf?
For hakilo sa murano sanjumalam ye even Kiang Kayaf la primary school.
Around 80s.
I started there around the 80s. Then later on I came to Banjul.
And what happened after you came to Banjul?
When I came to Banjul, they took me back to school. I was there. I realized that that is not my field of work. Then I went to Tobacco Road. I went to Madike Fall. I explained myself to him and informed him that, and he said he works on big trucks. He told me, okay, let me also inform Sirfo Jata, who is also at Tobacco Road. Then I personally went to Sirfo and explained to him. I bought cola nuts and took it to him. That's how things were going. I go to school, but when I close from school, I come to the garage.
What school were you attending in Banjul?
I was going to Kampama School.
What school was it? Was it a primary or secondary?
No, primary school.
It was a primary school.
And what level did you reach?
And grade 6.
The year that I went to grade 6,
Menta ko nabose ko inte someone longa try mecho da makang.
that's the time when I informed my boss that I cannot take those two things together. Let me leave school and continue with the mechanic trade. That's what I was doing
for around 1990.
Until in the year 1990.
So after you finished your training, were you a qualified mechanic or not?
Yes,
with the help of Allah.
Apart from the apprenticeship, did you go through any formal training, or actually did you attain any kind of qualification or certificate?
Ninga boto apparente ala yemenke fo yel karango kela bang membe ba kela karamungol to bang puriya certificate rosro fo yo kela bang
ala demaro to mbedamento ole certificate dina sir fo jata abantale.
With the help of Allah, the man who taught me decided to give me a certificate, but he is now of late a man called Sirfo Jata.
Please proceed.
So mbolo kono.
That's what I was doing.
For na do ko ay mo nyabo.
Well, my job impressed people.
So nata afisano safe NIA mo NIA lang.
Then I decided to write an application to the NIA. After writing that application, by that time, the late Daba Marena, he comes to me there at the garage. Even Sehu Sabali, when they are not at the office, they used to come and camp at my garage.
Can you tell us who Daba Marena and also Sabali was?
Wala nyin Daba Marena ti aning Sabali kontong Seku Sabali lamba.
Seku Sabali olekata former vice president Jawara Taimo.
Seku Sabali was one time former vice president during Jawara's regime.
But Marena Frankada that DG NIA.
And Daba Marena also one time director general at the NIA. That's how things were going. Until I was later called to the NIA. So they said before going for an interview, they'll have to test me. I said, that's okay. I said to them, now what we are going to do, tell your chief mechanic, tell him to dismantle any kind of machine that he has. Let him dismantle the machine and leave it like that in my absence. When I come, maybe if I come back, if I reassemble the machine and it failed to ignite, then there will be no need for you to employ me. Because if you want to employ somebody, should be somebody who is well qualified in that job.
Mr. Sanneh, it seems you were dictating the terms of your examination there before you were allowed to gain employment at the NIA.
Mr. Sanneh, amul ko hani merita do ko la folo do ko nyi tamandiri bulol nyana ka nyame ite korondola itambita ko fo nyati nyat. Yalla mo ne fo no mi yonsela.
Somebody, if we are well qualified in anything, then you shouldn't have fears. That means that if you are on the part of the truth, you will not have fears.
So were you eventually employed?
Yes, on the day that all this happened, they told me to start work on that very day. But I told them, no, I have other jobs that I have to finish before I can come and start working here.
Do you remember when you started employment with the NIA?
Yes, by the help of Allah. I forgot the date itself.
Ngalonko is 2004 nimenyina.
But if it was in the year 2004, if I remember properly.
I believe you have a copy of your appointment letter with you.
Yeah.
Jigita letter men ya sa by tandila ko yeta do ko ala copy ni abebul.
Bembula ha.
Yes, I have the copy.
Kindly give it to the usher, please.
Di nyum mari lambe nyim men kila nan jeba natinye.
Are you literate in English?
Mo mo de ba yak tuwa karam yedo man suudi la ba.
Angale kango ya.
Tuwa karam.
Nso dam na jela.
Yes, I can speak a little bit of English.
Are you able to read this appointment letter?
Ni letter ro nyingi fo ifan ya karam no ifan yenne ba. Ha?
Ni makarang.
No, I didn't read it.
Okay, in that case, I will just read it on your behalf, Mr. Chairman.
O dalilo kang ba letter ro nying karan na ito yala kiaman idunyo ila dunyo kang.
The appointment letter is dated the 1st of November 2004, and it's reference PR CD 4060 in brackets 2, and it is signed by Alaji B. Gassama for the Director General. And I would like to tender it as part of the record. I will give you an exhibit number in due course. Thank you. So you started your employment with the NIA on the 1st of November 2004.
Munta ning NIA do ko da muta wolem November karo tilifolo 2004 sang.
Bake.
Yes.
Can you tell us how long you've been working for the NIA up to date?
Fo isa fo no nye. Bi yedo ko muta ning NIA la ni sante mai wati ji sanji jeldel si fo sa en kambe bula kay bula ji sign.
Ay watali.
It took some time.
Do you know up to how long? It looks like you've been working for the NIA for more than 20 years now.
Amulum tang fele ko itarta do ko la NIA membita fo membita abe sambila sanji mo fangola.
Ala okele.
Yes, yes, with the help of Allah.
And that is a long time.
O metalet.
Metala.
Yes, that's a long time.
Is it safe to assume that you know the NIA very well?
Fo abe koyla abe tankala la bampur moya fo ko NIA yejelo mbakele.
Na area ngotol bagal.
Yes, the area where I work, I know that area very well.
You know the NIA as an institution very well after working there for 21 years. That is what I'm putting to you.
Ko NIA lom bagal ka ke tumala meno je mudi ku dingira la ko do ku dungira la je lom bakele do itarra je sanyi muang anin fen.
Yes, that's true.
Sorry, can you repeat your answer, Mr. Witness?
Yes, he said that's true.
Thank you very much. You know exactly how the NIA operates.
Yes, I have knowledge of some.
And you're familiar with its officers and workers.
Andung idalta do kulal la anin do kulal membeje nyaron ko la ni dumalangol be.
Allah okele.
Yes, with the help of Allah.
Before you started the NIA, did you receive any kind of training for the work that you were going to do there in that agency?
Janni be do ko commencer la NIA je fo ye karambulu ye kaye karandi la bang fanna la be do nyana ka do ko ke fanna la menna bang ye karanda la bang.
No kabi enteka.
No, since I was employed.
I think it's 3 months or 4 months.
Well, I spent 3 to 4 months after my appointment.
Training school.
And that's the time when I should go to the training school. When I went to the training school, I told them, had I known that this is what's going to happen, I wouldn't have taken up this job.
Because time spent training school
because the time I spent at the training school and the hardship I encountered, I have seen that. Because if you are at a garage, every day you will earn money by yourself. Even if it is $1. Even if it is $5. That's all thanks to Allah.
What kind of training did you receive at the training school?
NIA law karamo tinjindo ye karande mu bulu jumalle la fanna jumalla.
They told me many things.
Were you trained in intelligence?
Ye karandi londo kullo maranyala la bang.
Yes.
Because you've told us that you're appointed as a mechanic, is that correct?
Yes.
So apart from your training as a mechanic, you have training as a basic intelligence officer as well.
Fondama wala molan tunkullo police la do go maranyana hana ala fondama o ye karandi wala am tonyalti.
Yeah, that's true.
And during the years of service at the NIA, can you tell us how many director generals have actually served in that institution?
Sango men be ye do ko ke NIA je foi sa fo no nyaton ka jelle tombonje ye do ko ke menu koto director ni manyina nyana fala.
Yes, if I can remember, I'll count them.
Please, can you tell us who they were?
Marena.
Marena.
Please give us their full names.
Daba Marena.
Daba Marena.
Can you remember the period he served?
Daba Marena. Foi hakilo samurano ay sangomen na do ko ke jebang kada sanjelu. Daba anata jele.
Daba came there.
Tada embula je atada yake appoint ambasso efongo yala tonde governor.
Yes, he came, but he left me there when he was appointed as governor. And after that, he came back again and found me there.
From there,
who replaced him after he had left?
Jumale seat seta no kang bring atata. Ratata nimingina Pajallo.
If I remember, after his departure, he was replaced by Pajallo.
Please go ahead.
Tenteng. Pajallo botaje.
After Pajallo left, Bobaji came.
Botaje.
After Bobaji left,
Harisambu nata.
Ima?
Harisambu.
Harisambu came.
Ofana botaje.
After Harisambu left,
Numo nata.
Numo came.
Numo Kujabi.
Numo Kujabi.
He
also left.
Yankuba
Yankuba came. Yankuba left. Up to today, by the help of Allah, now it is Usman Sow who is leading the department.
And which Yankuba are you referring to? What's his surname?
Yankuba Jumala, Yankuba Baji.
Yankuba Baji.
And according to you, I believe you have about 7 director generals who actually served whilst you were serving at the NIA.
That's true.
And after recalculating, I realized that you've been actually at the NIA for about 17 years. And that is why lawyers should never try to calculate anything. But I believe you were there for about 17 years.
Yes.
Do you happen to remember what periods each of them served? If you can't remember, that's okay. I just need to know.
Marena's stint was longer.
I meant the specific years. I don't know if the interpretation is reaching him properly.
Ko sangolu menu kije kariye sanji nangam le kije abewle nyinin kakang foy hakilo samu ta kili wokili ye sanji jelleke nyaton kayala ji
ala demaro nda askeno mba fo on joya mirolde mem mum fala fo ma fonde.
Well, what I'm going to say is just that I am human. It might be correct, it might be incorrect too, but I will try to say what I can remember.
If you cannot remember, it's fine. I'm just asking if you can.
Ni hakilo ta mura no la bereada ke nyini kala do ninga tra hakilo samura bar ni ta hakilo ta mura no la fana a bereada nda fo no maybe yalo mina no len koy ko 2 years le otuma ak 3 years nga fana yafo.
Yes, I can say it's 2 years when if it happens to be 3 years, in that case I have told a lie.
Yeah, it's okay. I was actually referring more to the year, as in whether 1990 to 1991, for example. But it's okay if you can't remember. You've already told us that after being at the NIA for so long, you have a fair idea of how the NIA works.
Ya fanya janko tumala men ita NIA fo wati jang wodo kule woku dalilo kan ye NIA je kume kumpaje fe ko ku bitamara je senari mal.
You must also be aware of the jurisdiction under which it operates.
Ndung hanin kabi fana ngabe senala fente kumbale fitarle kumboro fana NIA la do ku bulol nying ila do ku bulol nying ya betaral fo hapu jumaro.
Is that something you know?
Fom kule de mel lomba ila do ko nying bulo danta damendo kata fo damendo ni mo belo.
Well, I don't know all of that.
I mean, do you know what work the NIA does as an NIA operative, working with the NIA for over 17 years? Do you know what it is actually, the NIA, what it does?
Ko NIA la do ko menti abe wala fo ya londe makado tumala men do ko NIA membi da fo sanji tangani worawula.
I should know that. Yes.
Yes, and that's what I'm asking.
Yo.
Just in general, just give us a summary of what you believe the NIA does.
I sutia wrong I fanudo mandim fana come NIA la do ko menti te mello. NIA la do ko
the job of the NIA but it should be
collect information.
That's to collect information. As the Mandikas call it, kibaro. And to investigate. And to try to separate false from truth. And also whatever comes by, you brief the government and the whole country. I know that.
And is this in respect of intelligence matters, for example?
Amunda misal fe ni mukullo maranyal pillo kuolti. Kibaru kullo maranya. Baru kullo maranya.
Yes, as for information. Yes, if I remember, I think that's what I have just started to explain.
Are you agreeing with me or not?
Intelligence.
Yes, I agree with that.
Okay. And as far as you know, did it stick to the jurisdiction of its work?
For it is a London NIA. Idanta ila do ko luaya mendi la pour do ko kedamene fo iblo danta jela ba fokuwa la do ko bulo danta ila ko luaya dila nyame la do ko bulo danta wolto ba ite la London
yes, as far as what I know,
we have received ample evidence from witnesses during this theme to say that the NIA interfered in the work of other institutions.
Are you aware
of instances of such happening?
Yes, yeah, those things happen.
I'll give you a few examples and then you can agree with me or not. For example, we've heard that the NIA was turned into a debt collection agency.
Misal fe nga moy janko NIL keta molder me alon ko julu kanim ikeda do ko bundal men ka julol fam kanim mol to yala,
where basically claimants would go to NIA officers and then lodge a complaint to them asking them to recover debts.
Da men do yalon ko mo ni mote mo julo be tarle te ma me alon ko atel julo ba atele julo so mo do la ta NIA ay kanindo ka fo NIA ma ko pour ay ala julo so mo kari bulu.
Debtors would then be arrested, detained, and in some cases even tortured in a bid to actually recover these debts. Are you aware of such situations?
Jeto fandala ni ko membe laro nyama isaje sitaw mari no kam yalon ko julo be minini atele kan da yetaw aresna ya nati ya tajire ya isaje me ya mari samba jasari mari sala julo soro no mari bulu foyo kala mudala bo sifal ngamwele.
Yes, I used to hear that.
And do you agree that this was not within the purview of work of the NIA? It was not in their jurisdiction?
Sa ison tan nyinna ko o misal sifal ko ay mem foten sante wol mu do kullet me alon ko wol man NIA la do ko fan kono ko luwaya landi nyamen.
Yes, I agree with that.
Do you agree that this was purely a civil matter for the courts?
Ison tan nyimmal ko nyimu moni mote molti andu men dameto nyanda o nyin jarara wolto mo kiti bum dati.
Yes, I agree with that.
We have also received evidence to say that the NIA also interfered in the work of the police.
Andunga kibaro fana soroja memu sede yar nduro janko NIL fana keta molde mi alon ko hani kabi manda woro fana ke dabula police wala do ko kono la yo fana yo muna foto woro fana fayo moy ngo fana moy la.
Yes, I hear that also.
And they would investigate crimes which they were not actually trained or equipped to do.
E ka kuolta ke kisi me ya lon ko me karandi wolondo sifa fa wala pour ka kuzo ni kisi ka wol fana kele.
Yes. Yes.
We have heard of situations where NIA officers were used to score personal vendettas.
Sorry.
Ngin kibaro fanan soton ko ning NIA do kulani modo dunta nyola itelekawa o NIA kamoleta ka kesemboti pour ka o mari tilimbalia ka sembota mandia mari kan. Yes, I used to hear all those things.
So people would have personal problems which they would report to the NIA, and the NIA would be used basically to deal with enemies or opponents.
Mol damal ka du nyola le mo do sitaje comme ay mo lonje ay taje ay NIL dabula NIL saje si dabula je pour ka sembo ta ka law mari kan ron pour I fa wala kun nafaka.
Yes, go for mo.
Yes, I used to hear that also at the place there.
Yeah, even though we also have an agency that deals with the issue of drugs, investigation of drugs, seizure, as well as prosecutions, we have also heard that the NIA was also intruding in that area.
Ano nya banko kan janga doku bunda soro me alon ko walla mata roko maranya nyim banko kan ka kele ngo han ka bi nga kibaro fanan soro jango mata sede andol soro ko NIA ke dabulo kusiwal fanan dolo ke dabulo roko tamandri bulo banko kan jang.
Yes, no fanan.
Yeah, that's also true.
Okay. We have also received evidence to suggest that the NIA had a culture of incommunicado illegal detention.
Anin kabinga se kibaro fanan soro ko NIL ada kilimbe bulu wala nyindi niye momo ya sindi dula kele wala ka mara dula kele ani mobu ka diamu ka fa incommunicado ani moda diamu ani moda kachala han fenna.
As well as torture.
Anin kabi ani tajire ya.
Especially in highly politicized cases.
Surtout kesol meni alon ko politiko ba kono.
Is that correct?
Fo mu tonyalti ba.
As far as you know.
Yes, that's true.
We have also received further evidence to suggest that the NIA was used as a tool to satisfy the personal desires and also the politics of Yaya Jammeh.
Anin kabi fana sede andro fana soro janko NIL mu dingiral de molke mu nafanjela isaje nyin kamala ko kuma alon ko politiko ba kon andum Yaya Jammeh ni mo me alon ko ibe kelo nyin kono politiko kono me alon ko pour ka Yaya Jammeh sewondira ko nyin kono no NIL ke dabula ne jele ron kaw mari nyi dete pour Yaya Jammeh ka sewondi.
Yes.
Yes.
And I think this is common knowledge, and everybody knew this. It was something that was rumored in public, and it was something everybody knew. But I would like to go into the specifics of your own employment at the NIA. Just tell us the nature of your job and also your personal experience as to what you personally witnessed and heard during the time that you were at the NIA. So we'll just start with your own job. Can you tell us on a day-to-day basis what you were doing at the NIA?
Sila ngai membe fota nyu bem kule me anko kule anka ngunu bango kandu mobe ka ngunu ka fonyo e bar silang nsiboro ngara ite fangola ko ila lungo lundo ko nyin akatama nyame ka kenyame NIA jeron sinana wor.
Okay.
Yes.
De sumonda
So me in the morning
inada
when I go to the office
7:40 or 7:30 ka sign.
I arrive 7:40 to 7:30. I'll sign the book.
Sign.
After signing,
after breakfast ke.
I will go and have breakfast.
Breakfast ke.
After breakfast,
assessment ke.
I will do my assessment.
Along go B.
And I will know that today,
at least more 10 or 15
then I will know that either 10 to 15 vehicles should be ready today.
Based
Which is based on the conditions of those vehicles. The ones that have serious problems will be left pending. This is how I work.
Please continue.
Tente.
So, after
that, Then I will call my mates. I will separate them two to a vehicle. And when the vehicle is ready, before it departs, I will call them and tell them to ignite the engine of the vehicle, so that I can listen to the noise from the engine.
Mr. Sanneh, sorry to interrupt you, but your job entailed maintenance and repairs of vehicles at the NIA.
Ila dogo abe kono wala nyindi ko moto nying ni ello ndingol so ke dara ke topo ke topoto ka dada NIA je ndaka bel ke je.
I do a lot of things there.
Moto masin nyin ka bon abnya nkaji nyen nga fon fe alunga masin kono ka bel ka.
What I do sometimes is to completely dismantle a whole engine and again rearrange it. I do a lot of things there.
But it's all within that area of maintenancing and repairing.
I don't
want us to spend a lot of time here because we have so much more important things to talk about.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. This covers everything.
Thank you very much. And during the course of your employment as a mechanic at the NIA, did you have cause to interact with other departments of the NIA at all?
What do you do? NIA yeta do kola ka mechanic or mbade menum fitad. For ika wato soro la bampuru ikate ida bula do kubunda do la meme anko NIA ikate ikete ida bula ida do ko kono ba.
Omangan la do kuti.
No, that's not part of my job.
Ninkol ko ni tad la lo.
Mandika proverb says, if you know where you are going, you should know where you are from. So that's what I saw. I saw yesterday and I saw today. This is why during my tenure, I have to keep an eye and keep mind on everything. There's nothing which is hidden except Allah's greatness. If you are living today, think that tomorrow, whether you are a Muslim or not, whatever you are able to do for people, give help based on Allah. Don't think that whatever good I do for people, I should be repaid. This is why I decided to think of tomorrow.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Sanneh. Did you have any opportunity to interact with the investigators, for example, at the NIA?
Misal fe fo inar na har jesro la puru ni menumbe marlin kiskisro kunyala NIA jedo puru ini iblo nyodum e blo ini blo nyodum blo kono ba
ni man la ni mix.
No, I don't want to mix with them.
What about, did you have an opportunity to arrest anybody?
Sain dum fo inar na har jesro la puru kam momuta ba
ani sain kuma kilo ngum fa ole mo rek man ka kawn rek.
Still, just as I said, that's the same thing.
What about detention?
I have never done that.
Have you ever participated in any torture at the NIA?
No, I will not do that. I hail from the provinces. So I know what I'm doing.
The people from the provinces don't torture? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, trees look alike or fruits look alike, but they may be different.
I think that's a more accurate statement because I think we have seen a lot of torturers from the provinces here.
If you come from the provinces, they have names there. I'm from Jara. Or from Badibu. Let's go to Badibu. I don't go to Badibu.
So,
now, how can you know that? This is it.
It's all right, Mr. Sanneh, we'll proceed, but let's not make any stereotypes. What about any other human rights violations? Were you involved in violating anybody's rights at the NIA whilst you were working there?
Me, what I always do is to help. That's all what I do.
We would like to warn you that the investigations into the NIA are still continuing, and there's a likelihood that we could receive further evidence implicating you or any other person, so therefore we would like you to be truthful.
Asikeno ito sinana findi dunkira me alon ko ito be dunnaje woro hanin kabimbe dandela la nyinkan isito nyafu ne o garamba ko ala kidiyelde.
If that happens also, I'll know that it is a decision by Allah. But if you don't do anything wrong, then nothing wrong should happen to you.
And therefore you maintain you have done nothing wrong whilst you were working with the NIA.
Or hanin kabi be sabatirin dame to men sabatindi imilaw diamo ko wala nyindi ko imam kuke me alon ko ani silo manta wato men be do ko NIA.
Yes.
However, Mr. Sanneh, what is clear is that after 17 years at the NIA, you definitely witnessed human rights violations. Is that correct?
But hanin kabi o nyaonya sanji tang aning wora kola wato mene do ko NIA je tonya inya sede yata hadama dingol lanye tinyal me alon ko aketa boyta mol kanje NIA je fotonyan tonyaldi.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, please share some of your experiences with us, starting with the case of Lamin Sanneh. Tell us what happened, what you observed.
Silang damuda ya fonyem bangni e misalo dina ka damuta ning Lamin Sanneh la kuoto menketa je. Lamin Sanneh,
as for Lamin Sanneh,
with
the help of Allah,
around 8:30 or 8:20.
It must be from 8:20 to 8:30.
In the morning or in the evening?
Somanda for ularo. Somanda.
It was in the morning.
Can you tell us the dates if you can remember?
I forgot the day.
The year?
I forgot the year too.
Okay. And who was Lamin Sanneh? Did you know him before?
He is my relative even. Not that I know him. He is my relative.
Where did he work?
Works.
Mindo?
Director of Works.
He was the director of Works.
During what period, if you can remember?
Lamin did all his career at that place.
And would that be PWT? Sorry?
It was the PWD which changed and they called the place Department of Works.
Very well. Please tell us what happened to him.
Lamin Sanneh, with the help of Allah, I was going out of the place. I went and bought breakfast and I was returning back.
Which place are you referring to?
The NIA.
Okay.
When I was entering, I saw the vehicle and I recognized the vehicle. I saw another vehicle behind it. I said to myself, I recognize this vehicle.
And which vehicle was it?
It was a pickup.
A small car, black one.
And his own private car was a small one, a black one.
Who are you referring to?
Lamin Sanneh.
Lamin Sanneh, I'm talking about.
Please proceed.
So,
with the help of Allah, I saw him alight from the vehicle. He was wearing his suit. He told me that, well, I went to my office, I went in and I started to have my breakfast, but then I was picked and brought here.
So,
I asked him what has happened. He said to me, well, as far as now, I don't know as yet what is the reason. I said to him, well, okay, by the grace of Allah, we will know. You were there? Then we were there till dusk. I didn't hear anything. When it was time, when it was around 4 o'clock, I wanted to go home.
Men say no.
I cannot go home. I was unable to leave.
But yeah.
Because of my relationship with him. If they touch him, the person who touches him might touch me also. What happens to him might also happen to me.
So go stay for 6.
I said, okay, I am going to stay up to 6.
6 seater.
When it was time for 6 o'clock,
I
saw them taking him out of Invest and they took him to light detention.
Please, Mr. Sanneh, you know we are not working at the NIA, so some of these jargons we are not able to understand. What is Invest and light detain?
Yala ntol manda do ko la NIA. Niko nika into sudun sifal din tol asike non ta lonno la. Niko invest muna woti and niko light detention wala mundi.
Ya me invest olon ko kisis lado.
Invest stands for investigation. The place who are responsible to investigate matters.
Okay. And you said light detain, but you meant light detention as well.
Ya samana bundado mi an ko jëm nga selo de jëm sal bundado ni dunda bundado bumul beje sanne je fale.
They brought him to a place where there is a big parlor with other rooms. It is nowadays that the place has been changed, but at that time that's where they brought him.
Do you know why that place is referred to as light detention as opposed to other forms of detention?
Light detention.
What I know about light detention, I personally slept there. If they take you there, before they do anything about your affairs, they will take you there. Now you will stay there and they will investigate about you. So during that, it took 2 days. I didn't hear anything. I went to him and I said to him, Lamin. I told him we are of the same blood. We are from the warrior clan. I said to him whether it is death, whether it is something peaceful. Since I came to the NIA here, I have never even visited Invest to know what happens there. I said to him, but for now, let me go and visit the place and talk to somebody there. I went there and found Lamin Mane. I said to him, Lamin Mane, we are all relatives. Sanneh and Mane are all the same. I want you to give me or hint me something about Lamin. Because calls were coming from every side. We don't know still what has happened. Even his family, today's 3 days, they don't even know where he is. I said to him today, if I don't know, there is a head. I will go to the head and ask him. He said to me, no, wait for the time being. I said to him, that's what I'm going to do.
Mr. Sanneh, you've already said that from your evidence, we know that he was already in detention for about 3 days.
info ila kumo kono ko sa ngalo ne ko tarta Morocco no fami bida tilisaba.
It was more than that, just to shorten my explanation.
How many days did he actually, was he in detention for?
I tili jelle ke detention Morocco no je.
I mean, spent 1 month there.
From there.
And from what you've said, it was also incommunicado detention. He was not allowed to access or contact his family.
Amunda ko ya fa nyame fana tarta nu Morocco no je ani mo buka diamu ana la dimbayala ni wol buka diam fa.
Yes, but the day I became ready, I said to him, today, they will dismiss me, or they take me to mile 2. Your family, plus your close relatives, I will tell them that for them to let them steady their minds, so that they will know your condition. I had said to him that I'm going to your mother. She's at Brikam and I'm going there. I'll go to your wife at Kotu. I'll tell them that you have been arrested and detained here.
Can you tell us what the conditions of detention were for Mr. Sanneh?
What the condition of the
detention?
Ako faisa fono komisyon ala maralonying ala alhalonying benyadi len.
Somebody who is used to easy life, who doesn't know what is suffering. If that person goes into hardship, well, that changes the whole situation. Akabanyadi. Yes, the body will, the person will lose weight.
Do you know if he was maltreated at all?
Yala na foila londor fo ya muta nyala mi ko maranya jawolem ba.
What I realized, somebody who used to sleep on a bed, any type of food he wants, that's what he will eat. And you go to a place and see somebody. Huh? That's another way of suffering.
And what about torture? Was he tortured during the 1 month he spent at the NIA?
I'm coming to that.
Can you please answer the question and then maybe you can explain?
No, he was not beaten.
There.
At the NIA?
NIA.
Yes, at the NIA.
Apart from the NIA, did he go to any other place?
Yes.
Can you tell us about that? How did he come to leave the NIA and go to that particular place?
To shorten the explanation, when they know that I am involved in this matter, they took him away from there. They took him to mile 2.
And this was after a month of detention at the NIA.
Yes.
How long did he spend at the mile 2?
Mile 2.
If I want to mention a date, I might tell a lie. According to my thoughts, he spent a long time too at mile 2.
And after he spent time at mile 2, did you eventually see him again? And at what point did you see him?
I saw him. I decided to risk whether it is life or death.
Please go ahead and tell us what happened when you saw him.
Also for that, it was in the morning. I went to my boss, whereby every time, who happens to be the DG, Numo Kujabi, whenever I go there, I see him. So I saw that I went to him, I told the orderly to inform him that I want to see him. According to the Mandinka proverb, if a drummer steps on the drumming stick, nobody will see it. He refused to see me that day. I told the orderly that. Tell him that. I say that today I will see him. Even if he leaves here in the morning at dusk or dawn. I just want a word from him. 1 or 2 words.
Did you eventually speak to Numo Kujabi?
Yes, because he must have to go home. I sat down at his door. The orderly told me to go out. The person, and that person found me there. I said, okay, but as for the outside, we are equal there. I went out and I leaned on the fence. I said to him, as for this matter, that's what I want to know. When it is going to be black, let it be black. If it is going to be white, so that I will know the situation. What he told me was, this order came from the top. I asked him, top from where? He said to me, from the elder.
Almost 1 month. Every day I came on a mile too.
I said to him, now...
Please tell us who this elder was.
He said that was Yaya Jammeh.
So Mr. Sanneh was arrested and detained at the NIA on the instructions of Yaya Jammeh.
Amunta Mr. Sanneh me mulamin Sanneh ya muta ya samba NIA inara sound mile too. Yaya Jammeh la kangoka.
For
yes, as what they told me.
Okay, please.
I said, okay. I said to him, something must have to be done. If they are not going to release him, and they didn't charge him, every day they will go for him, pick him from mile 2 and bring him.
So
now, and I told Lamin, I said to Lamin, what is going to happen? Aketadi, the way things are going is not the right way.
1 month.
I said to him, now it's 1 month.
They
didn't charge you. They didn't tell you anything. They take you from mile 2. Just like a baby, they bring you here to the office.
From 8 o'clock.
They make him sit down there from 8 in the morning.
Or 5 o'clock.
Till 5.
And in your view, Mr. Sanneh, was that correct procedure? Was it wrong?
The way that things were, as for Lamin, we talk in 2 ways.
Can you tell me whether that was unlawful or whether it was lawful? The fact that you said he had been there at the NIA for over 1 month, he wasn't charged with any offense, and then he was taken to mile 2.
Amen nyinga wala nyindiko fo isa fo don commission fo silo nyi otamande bulo nyi kamen samba kan atata NIA fo curriculum ya bondi NIA ya samba mile 2 fana tarta wodo fo otamande bulo kamen samba ta lamin kan fo mu oni loi ta tale ban fo on loi men dako.
No, that's quite wrong.
And do you know whether before he went to mile 2 they took him to court, whether there was a court order actually remanding him there?
La londoro fo ya landa fana janni ba mon la NIA ka samba mile 2 fo ya samba kitiyo la bam kitiyo la narana kawdi wala nga court order fundu ka di ka fo ko eta mile no,
that never happened.
And after he was brought back from mile 2, did you at any point observe anything that was wrong with Mr. Sanneh?
Mile 2 ya nati fo ila korosiro e narna in fentandi la suute abala la ban kaytandi ko kuude nyinde kuba bala mi alon ko manyin suute abala
Yes, I recognized, I observed something about him.
Please tell us what you observed.
One day he was alighting from the vehicle. He was being escorted.
Where was he coming from?
When he was brought from mile 2. He alighted from the vehicle. And I know that whenever he's coming, because the people who go to pick him up, they inform me that we are going for Lamin. I will leave my workplace and come around and wait for him at the place where he will have to pass by. After he alighted from the vehicle, he shook hands. I said to him, Lamin. I said to him, Allah is great. I said to him, Lamin, what has happened? He refused to talk.
Why did you ask him that particular question? What did you observe about him?
Because with the help of Allah, if I shake hands with him, if I give him my hand, I recognized something, I observed something about him.
That is what we are asking. What did you observe, Mr.
You know Allah. Yes, he doesn't deny you everything. He will give you something and give something else to another person. If you put it together, it will become something big. When he shook hands, I said to him, Lamin, you are not truthful to me. The others were standing and listening to me. I asked him, what happened to you there? He didn't tell me that. I said to him, Lamin, there was another person called Lamin Mane. He was the 2IC.
2IC to what?
He was 2IC to Sukuta Jamme.
And who was Sukuta Jamme?
He was the OC.
Of what department?
Bunda Juma. At the investigation department. I said to him, how things are going, I'm not happy about it.
And you also said, Mr. Sanneh, just to take you back, that you said something happened to him there. Where are you referring to?
No,
Mile 2. Yes, it was at mile 2.
Okay. Did he eventually tell you what happened?
At that time, he cannot tell me.
Did you eventually get to know?
Yes, I came to know what happened to him.
Please inform us.
So,
we are there. I informed his wife that today, they said it was 1 week or more. His mother didn't eat.
Mr. Sanneh, kindly inform us about what you got to know about what had happened to Mr. Sanneh first.
Silang afanyambang ko nyi be nyala bango inar na munelo Mr. Sanneh la menketala follow.
I know that. He was beaten. And the way they beat him, he was wearing a shirt. The shirt he was wearing, the way they beat him, I cannot say anything about it.
So,
in that,
can you tell us who beat him and where he was beaten, if you know?
No,
I know that he was beaten at mile 2.
Because the
reason why I said he was beaten at mile 2,
because
when I saw him in this problem, I went back to my boss. I said to him,
Lamin,
as for Lamin,
Belo Diala,
please arrange a bail for him. He might die here. He said to me, Sanneh, how do you know that? I said to him, since I came here. Since he came here. All I told you. You always see that.
Mr. Sanneh, was he eventually released? Was Lamin Sanneh eventually released from the NIA or from Mile 2?
Mr. Sanneh, ko nyimbe nya laba wonyim fo Lamin Sanneh inara nabula Mile 2 laba waranto fo inara nabula NIA bulubal fo inara nabula
ya bulale otumo watu abola.
They left him, but at that time he was just waiting for death.
And what do you mean by that? What was his condition at that time?
Ilo koto munete ala halo nyimbe nu nyaadi la wadi.
Alo na joya mirodo.
Well, as a human being,
somebody
somebody's soul can depart, and that person will remain among humans for 40 days.
And his condition, then, what are you saying was the cause of that condition? The fact that the only thing that remained for him was death.
Alo alhalo nyimbe nu nyaadi le fo memba isa tandile le ko ala alhalo sa mentu da jere wala mfati muna ala alhalo nyinda benu nyaadi le
momo Lamin nje.
Anybody who sees Lamin,
yaje kunung,
you happen to see him the day before,
yaje bi,
and you see him today,
ina jibe,
and you look at him properly.
Ifa Lamin jibe,
and I observed Lamin properly.
What was responsible for that? That's what I'm trying to get from you.
What
I said is that he was beaten.
And according to you, you were saying that he was beaten at Mile 2.
Yes, at Mile 2.
Lamin Sanneh was at the NIA for a whole month. Is that correct?
Lamin Sanneh NIA.
Yes, that's what happened.
Having sworn on the Quran, can you tell us for sure that he was not beaten at the NIA?
NIA? At the NIA, the reason why I said that he was not beaten, what I observed, when they realized that, now I am ready for anything in this matter. Whether it is going to be peaceful, whether it is going to be troublesome, that resulted into. This is why, in fact, he was granted bail.
Because when on our way,
the question was, can you tell us for sure whether or not he was beaten at the NIA or not? Can you swear to that?
I'll swear to it.
So as far as you know, he was only beaten at Mile 2.
Because
yes, when they took him, when I took him home, his wife, told her to take her to the hospital. At the hospital,
1 week.
After 1 week, he was transferred again to the hospital. And during that period, I went there every day and I chat with him. And he told me that that was what happened.
Because
even when he died.
What happened, please, Mr. Sanneh? He told you that is what happened. Can you tell us what he told you?
He said to me that I was beaten. I said to him, you were beaten? I said, what kind of people beat you? He said to me, you know, it was in the night. And I said to him, can you describe these people to me? After the year after, there is no other settlement. And he could not tell me anything about that. He said they were dressed in black. I said to him, hope these are not the black. He said it could be them. And I said to him, if at all you knew who they were, then to talk about it would have been easier.
Mr. Sanneh, we've heard evidence that usually what happens is that you are referring to the black. Usually they remove people from Mile 2 and take them to the NIA premises where they are tortured. Is that what happened in this case, or are you saying that are you still maintaining that he was tortured at Mile 2?
Mr. Sanneh nga sedan dilo soro janko ni black kullem bari tol ni black sul itol kata kata Mile 2 le mol bondi Mile 2 ye samba NIA te tajire yawro bari sa ite han kabi fobe lori ni kango kafu ko ate lamin sana ate itata tajire ya ma te tata liba Mile 2 le awlo fanyi.
That was what he told me. If I told he died in Mile 2, I wouldn't have said it that way. The way he told me is the same way I am telling you here.
Thank you very much. And what happened eventually with Mr. Sanneh?
He did not survive.
That day,
those that went to the mosque.
Which day are you referring to?
When he died.
And what was the length of period between when he was released and his death?
When jamfo be nyoy nyaade biri ya bula aninga fata wato mena le jamfo be nyoy nyaadi de ngalon dal 10 days so now see femin lawkan.
What I know is if it's 10 days, then it is. If it is not 10 days, then it cannot be more than that. Because his wife is here, Awaka, she's still alive.
And can you tell us what you believe was the cause of his death?
The beating. Because at the mosque, the imam is still alive. Those who went to the cemetery, many of them are still alive. Everybody saw that. The cloth that he was wrapped in, you could see the blood stains. Those who went to the cemetery. That was the way things were.
So the wounds that were inflicted on him during his torture were still fresh?
Yes. We did not see the injuries, but the white cloth was having red stains.
Thank you very much. And who do you hold responsible for his death?
Government. It's the government. It's the government.
You told us that he had been arrested and detained on the personal instructions of the ex-president Yahya Jammeh. Is that correct?
Yeah, infonye janko ya mutala ya samba ya sindidula killing anwa keta menna kaunkan wala president Jammeh la kaunkan yo la fonye fo.
Yes, that was it.
So do you hold the government responsible or do you hold him responsible?
Silang ibe masakunda ibe wala jalaila bang fo ibe ya Jammeh la jalaila du noni.
I will not blame the government. It's Yahya Jammeh that I blame. Because the way that they told me, I said to Numo, this man is residing with these people inside with Yahya Jammeh's mother. Yahya Jammeh's mother's compound and this man's compound. There's only a road between them. I said to him that if you tell the president that and make it known to him that this man is his neighbor, even if this man had done something which is not correct, he should consider their neighborliness. This man's children and this other person's children, they are the ones that play together in Koto here. I said to him, also put that to him. That may make him release this man. He He said to me that he asked me if I have any personal interest in this matter. I told him the interest that is there is that both of us come from the same village and we share the same surname. Therefore, he is my relative. If I do not stand for him, there is nobody from Kayaf in this office. I told him since I came here to the NIA, I found people that were detained here, but I used to just pass them because I did not know them. So the one that I know, I'll tell you, forgive this person and bail him. I told him, you do something for something. Go and tell Yajame that. These two statements. Tell him this. And tell him that this man is his mother's neighbor. And secondly, myself, this man is my older brother. It's not that we come from the same mother or father, but our fathers are related.
Yeah, Mr. Sanneh, thank you very much. I believe that some of the things you've said has already been established, and we are really sorry about what happened. I know that he was a brother to you because you hailed from the same place. And you've already said that there are so many instances where you saw people being arrested at the NIA, you witnessed human rights violations, but you didn't know those people. But this time, the NIA hit close to home in your situation.
To nyala ye info janko enna wati jamal le jandung e hadama di nyanta jamal tinyal le jamal le kitaje e me dabula bento andu nyindo saying NIL natana na ite fangola bunda to ite fangola bunda konkon.
Absolutely. Yes, that happened.
And to date, do you know exactly what it was your brother was alleged to have done, which cost him his life?
Fokana bula ben beat lo men don hanin kabi fo ya lonne dalilo me ya sabu ye la inkoromani ya muta fo ya muta ya sindi dula killing fo ya na tajire ya fon men na sababu ala sa ya fo ya lonna menke ba
malong I don't know.
There was no document about it.
Okay, thank you very much. I would just like to move on to the 2006 Nur Cham abortive coup.
Silam bida 2006 Nur Cham la coup d'etat bayri ngoni na ko.
You told me of a particular incident that you witnessed. Can you just tell us briefly before we move on?
Ye kuma fonye dingira do me alon ko e ko ta fonya ya CDA men keta je. Si FCG kuma fono nyo dingira nyi do men keta do bangala kuma la sutiyaka. Kuma la sutiyaka ma?
Briefly, I was passing. I was going to brief my boss. I found Bunja inside the waiting room. He was handcuffed. I found blacks standing over him.
Please tell us which Bunja you are referring to.
Major Bunja Dabo.
Of the Gambia National Army.
That is it.
Please go ahead.
I found him in handcuffs. The blacks were standing behind him. He called me. Out of pity for him, I could not pass, so I decided to stand and speak to him. I said to him, Bunja, how is it? He told me it's not okay. He looked at me and cried. I said, Bunja, what is it? And he said, they beat me.
Did he tell you who beat him?
At that time, he wouldn't say that.
At the time that he told you he was beaten, he was within the NIA premises. Is that correct?
Yes, the big building inside. Before, when you go in, there was a hole under. And there is a corridor, and you could climb upstairs on either side.
And you said he was also in the company of the black. Can you tell us what other name they usually refer to?
And ko wato menne yaje wato nyim black wolle ba wolle ya kur fo isa fo nyim black ni abura black bar fo to ko ten do bela la ba to do bela le.
Yes, there is another name known by, but I forgot the name.
Can you recall the name Junglers?
Ni ko jongula fo si fenke sondo makono ba wolle.
They were the ones.
And you said you found him in the company of the Junglers.
Iko ya taraje abe jongula bulo kono.
He was sitting down and they were standing over him.
And do you know anything about the black or the Junglers?
Oh, ye cool londi sodo black soul waranto jongula soul la koto ba. Ngamu nyame.
As I used to hear that I heard it from people that they are the ones that torture people.
And you found him being escorted by the black, and he told you he was beaten, but he didn't tell you who.
Ya taraje to ko ene ni black sol ni jongla sol wolle belora kunto ko ya nyininka bara mafo e ko wolle me aliba kabri ya nyininka.
I told you that. I said that at that time, he couldn't have said that to me. I just used my head and concluded that. There were people I passed whom I did not ask. The reason why I asked him is because of the pity. You pity somebody because you know them.
Can you tell us why he wasn't able to tell you?
If he had said it there, what I am saying today, I wouldn't have been able to.
And why is that?
The reason for that, I'll be in a house. Oh, two things will happen. My family will suffer. And those that I also assist will suffer. That is why I passed many people before I got onto Bunja. When he said that to me, I was in a haste. It was as if you were whipping a horse. I was climbing the stairs hastily. I went to the bus.
So you were afraid, literally?
I was afraid.
And apart from that discrete issue about Bunja Dabo, do you know anything else about the 2006 abortive coup?
Ninga boda Bunja Dabo la ko nyindo fo kudo satana soronda yel do fana be jele ba mi ko londo sura ko men sujida ni 2006 coup d'etat bayre nyinda ba ani Bunja ngatlo ne.
No, I knew Bunja. Even well before I got to the NIA.
Thank you.
That was the reason why I stood and spoke to him. There were people who called me, but I could not call their names. I did not even want to speak to them.
Because
the reason was that because at that time everybody was cautious.
What is next?
What is next?
And those people that you saw, were any of them tortured? Did they have the appearance of having been tortured, or were they illegally detained, for example, as far as you know?
Yo mol menu jeje ene alon ko imandi amwe fo fe tandi balo fe tandi la ba memba tandi le ko ye mala ye butere waranto fo mol be jel me alon ko fo ye sindi jel ba menni wanta yaka ngalon ko.
I knew that
na joya miroto
in my unlimited human thinking. All the people that were there, they weren't happy.
I didn't ask if they were happy or not. I asked whether or not they appeared to have been tortured.
Fo ila korosiro da binya boyte kan fo anate sondo mako ka fo nyinde fo ye mala ban fo imema wala fo ye tajiri ala ba ye lipa ban fo ime lipa.
The others? At that time, yes, they beat them.
Thank you very much for that. But you cannot tell us who these people were or who beat them, can you?
At
that time, each one was thinking about their life.
Did you know who beat them?
I wasn't there.
I know you weren't there, but you've worked at the NIA for 17 years, and we've heard very notorious torturers being mentioned in evidence. Do you know any of them?
No, I don't know. I don't know. But it do go NIA. Maybe that was Sanjitang and Uwarula. In a mole told me Jamalongo, Tajirila, Balem, Jaumo, Jawel, Melango, Nina, Tajiriala, Carola, and Kamul Lipa. For a mole on Jelabang, Ibemen, two for Noraba. Frankamele, Munkamulto Mojele.
I also used to hear names being mentioned. That such and such person is a torturer. Such a person is a torturer.
Where did you hear those names being mentioned?
You told me told for.
I heard their names from all corners.
Of the NIA, you mean?
NIA
inside the NIA and outside of the NIA.
Can you tell us what names you heard?
I used to hear Tumbul's name.
Tumbul what?
Tumbul Tamba.
Who else?
Malia Mungo, I think.
What about any person who's actually alive and kicking right now, working at the NIA? Now. I used to hear here in your TRC, and when I heard it, I did not think that that person should have done that. Because just as I said earlier on in my statement, anybody that came from the provinces... Mr. Sanneh, I hope we're not going back to that statement you made about people from the provinces do not torture. What I wanted to know was that, I mean, after working at the NIA for almost 17 years, you want to tell us that the first time you heard the name of torturers was at the TRRC. I don't think anybody would believe that.
But coming coming in go to Malamina do go NIA member for Sanjitang and Uwarula. He left off for a commission, he left off for a loco, in a mom Tajirela, more killing to on Jamaica, Tajirela, Balamati, for commission on Yatil, they left a Purmoela Uraba. Koyamwejan.
No, but according to what was said, they said that the one that is in the system. You know, two statements were made. The one that is in the system and the one that is not in the system. Those are the ones that you tell me. And then we look at them.
What system are you referring to?
The one that is in the NIA and the one who is not in the NIA presently.
And you were in the NIA, right? You were in the NIA and you're still at the NIA. So I'm trying to ask you whether or not you have received information in the course of your work there as to who these notorious torturers are. I'm sure it's spoken of very freely there.
Ko ita be NIA han kabi sa ka men volum yinde ko ila NIA taro wicho nyimbe kono sanjitang ani worowlo wicho nyin kono fo ila ta fola ina na mamoy ka fo ko nyimmo kare nyinde mo lipara ballede ka wala nyin ka fo ina na mo aussi fal moy bang.
I heard those. If I say I did not hear those, it will be a lie.
Mr. Sanneh, can we have some names, please? That's what I'm after. Do you want to write it down on a piece of paper?
I'm not, it's not that. I am from
because I know that you are still working there, so perhaps you may have some. Can you freely speak about them in public?
I'll speak it out publicly.
That's, yeah, we would appreciate that if you can.
Follow. First off, I heard one person's name, whose name is Idrissa Job. I heard his name. After that, I heard another person's name, who is Lamin Dabo. I heard their names.
Where is Idrissa Job and Lamin Dabo?
Idrissa Job and Lamin Dabo. Sayenteng ile. Idrissa Job.
Idrissa Job. After the incident.
Which incident are you referring to?
After the change of government, Idrissa Job ran away.
Is he known by any other name?
Idrissa Job tola. Photo kotendo balala ba.
The name that I know is Idrissa Job, and I knew him a long time in Banjul.
Have you heard of the name Alaji Mor?
Alaji Mor to ikaw to mo yala ba.
Alaji Mor to. The name Alaji Mor. I used to hear it. But this other name is the first name.
Very well. And you said he ran away. Where did he run away to?
When a thief comes to your house and goes out, he just goes out.
What is your answer, Mr. Sanneh? I mean, where did he run away to? What country? I know you like to speak in parables and stories, but we would also like a direct answer to our questions sometimes.
Well,
I'll give you straight answers by the grace of God.
Thank you very much. I would really appreciate that. Please continue.
I heard also about Lamin Dabo.
Where did Idrissa Job run to?
Idrissa Job
I did not have the interest of the country, but when he ran away, I knew that he ran away.
Do you know where he was running? I mean, what he was running away from?
This is what I'm telling you. An evil person.
What he mixed up.
Today is the day to narrate it. If I told he was here,
kindly help us interpreters, please.
Okay. You will not be able to sustain people.
You will not be able to sustain people.
So
I don't understand.
So I'm told.
I don't understand that interpretation. Can we have some more help?
It will not be enough. It will not be enough people.
Perhaps you could ask the witness to rephrase.
Or maybe the witness can help us. What does it mean in English? Because he understands English.
I said, if I told he was here up to date, he will not, many people will be after him.
Okay. Do you know of any specific cases of torture that he was involved with at the NIA? Any specific cases?
Case be jelme alon ko ate fan kunno nyingo o case nyingi sula batalo case nyindo ba NIA yalo nje
you know there
alon akama ko kewulo rek
Yes, please, interpreters. I see you're having difficulty today. Mr. Dabo, help us. They're not understanding your Mandinka.
Okay, no problem. Let me give you. Sanneh, go near Sabunka for call.
This is why I'm saying that.
It is a job.
It is a job. To make it short,
because I mean the
things that he mixed up, If I told he was here seated, he would assist you people. So that the things that you are now asking me, the proceedings wouldn't have been long.
Mr. Sanneh, you know he's not sitting in front of me. You are the one sitting in front of me. So that's why I'm asking you to tell me if you know of any cases he was involved with. If you don't know, just tell me that.
Mr. Sanneh, come and follow me. Salaji mor man manke mode me alanga tele siri nyati ngono je tele siri nyati ngono jang nke nyini kamera wala nyido ni atra ite kuwo kulo me alon ko abulo nota je abulo mata lale ye wala im lafta ye wala kusifa ye fonye ite mun long abulo nota mento me asabu fa borta no abulo
Mr. Sanneh, please tell me, give me a direct answer.
I give it directly.
Please.
Yes.
Okay.
Abulo
and
more milbenada.
All the people that came. What 2 or 3 people said, know that that is the truth.
That is not a direct answer in my definition. No. Please tell me, do you know of any cases or not? So that we can move.
No. I used to hear.
That's fine. But you do know that he was a notorious torturer at the NIA. That bit you know.
Yes, that was how it was reported.
Do you know if he was involved in that 2006 abortive coup?
In 2006
In torturing people?
Yes
or no?
I cannot say anything about that.
All right, thank you. Let's move on to the Sarjo Sanneh case, the UDP case 2016. You were a witness to some of the events that happened. Please tell us what you saw.
Sarjo Sanneh. No, let me say the UDP. We were in the office.
Around after 4.
Around after 4.
We were
called to tell us that your unit tell all of them to stay. And I said to them, why would they stay? What's happening?
Who gave the instructions for you to stay?
Operation.
Who was operation?
Sheikh Omar Jeng.
Okay, please carry.
So stay.
He said that everyone should stay.
So
during that,
we
were seated
around 6.
Up till around 6.
Escort.
Then I saw vehicles escorting people inside.
So vehicles were escorting people, or officers were escorting people inside the NIA premises?
There were paramilitary officers and our people, they were all there. And police officers.
Please tell me, amongst your people, who did you see? That is the NIA.
That day, I saw Babukar Sala. I saw one called Huruhara.
Huruhara?
He's in remand at the moment. That is his nickname.
Is he a prison officer?
No, an NIA officer.
Okay. Babukar Sala and Huruhara.
Yes.
Any other person?
Also, I found Sheikh Omar Jeng. And he said, he asked me if all my people are around, and I told him yes, they are around. And then he said to me, tell them not to go home.
Can you tell us what you observed about the people who were being escorted into the NIA premises?
What I observed, When I noticed that the people that were coming in were getting many, I went through the back. I said to them, possibly the people coming in, one of them may be my relative. Because many supporters of UDP are from Kenya. So I said to them, wait, let me go there. I went there. By the grace of God, as soon as I arrived, there was one particular boy. They call him Dede.
Within 2 years back.
He died about 2 or 3 weeks back. He held my hand and said to me, in my room, there is nobody there. I want you to go to my house and tell so-and-so person that someone should spend the night inside my room for me.
Did you observe anything about his appearance at that point when you were speaking to him?
Yes.
Please tell us what you observed.
When an elderly person is not happy, you would know that something is amiss. I said to him, Dede. He said to me, Bilai, I was beaten.
Did he tell you where he was beaten and by whom?
No, because at the time, we couldn't have discussed that. What he told me, giving me that instructions, I thought that very day, they could have even dismissed me then. Or I would be beaten also.
Can you tell us if you made any other observations apart from Dede? Did you observe the condition of any other person there?
Yes.
Please tell us.
I saw people there. They were not looking happy. And I knew that a hand touched them. And I passed.
So you were able to observe from the appearance of those people that they had been beaten?
Yes.
And do you know where they were coming from?
At the time they were coming from the parals in Kanifing.
In terms of after they arrived at NIA, can you tell us if you observed any other human rights violations that were committed against those people who had come from the paramilitary headquarters?
Korosiro la karola foye kudo korosi la karola ba memba e sabatin le sondo mo kono nyinude kusura la me alon ko yedi har madi ngo nyanto yela nyanto tinya ila kol konale.
And please give us direct answers.
Andu jabiro dina me alon ko jabiro tilindi wala
ngalon ko neji be balna ko ani luamenta
ha yemuna korosi la ko yela nyanto tinyale
ha ngamin korosi
what I observed
ila body language,
their body language,
ila face be nyame
and the state of their faces, and I knew that they were not happy.
So
some were sitting on the ground. When you see an elderly person sitting on the ground or on a block, you would know that something must have happened to these people.
What do you know happened to them at the NIA after they were brought there?
What I know, in my limited human thinking,
around 8 mafang,
when night fell around 8, I am.
You go? Sudo ha.
Long
time.
I cannot sleep in the night for a long time. When it's 10 o'clock, I will lie down And then I get up to pray before the morning prayers. I was lying down in the house.
No, not house.
Inside the office.
Within the NIA premises?
NIA.
Okay.
I got scared and got up. At that time, the storage building close to the seaside, they were building it, but it was not yet completed. That place was full, as if you had a large crowd there who are formed in a circle. I came out, stood by the veranda. At that time, it was around to 11. I heard screams. 3 types of screams. One was screaming in Mandinka, "You will kill me." I heard another one.
The first scream that you heard, was it from a man or a woman?
That was a male voice.
And he was saying that, "You will kill me."
You will kill me.
Do you know why he was saying that? And what was happening to him at that point?
If you hear an older person screaming, then something must be the reason for that.
And that is the reason we are looking for, Mr. Sanneh. Please, if you know the reason, tell us.
You
were there, you observed what happened.
No, I wasn't there. I told you, I just sprang up from sleep and I went onto the veranda. When I came, I heard the screams. 3 types of screams. One was saying in Mandinka, "You will kill me."
And tell us why he was saying that. Something must have been happening to him for him to say that.
That is beating. That is beating.
Okay, you know, we wouldn't know if you don't tell us. We were not there. And the second scream was from who?
The second scream, that was a woman. Her scream, "You will kill me, please stop."
And what was happening to her at that point?
She was being beaten too. The third one also, I heard that, "Wait for me, before you kill me, allow me to say it." I heard that too. I said to these people, "I am going back." I went back to the former DG's office, with the office near to his office.
And were they all being beaten in the same room or place? Or was it different places?
No. No.
Because
the scream was in the room. One was not in the room. How did I know that? The one that was in the room. When the person screams, the voice of the scream, the sound of the scream, the way that it is amplified, and the one that is not inside the room, that was how I got to know that one was in the room and the other was not.
So there were different tortures going on simultaneously.
Yes,
when I got up from sleep, the way I heard the screams.
Do you know who was involved in carrying out these tortures? Which NIA officers were involved?
No.
That very day, I did not know. Because all of them knew that I don't sleep much in the night. That is why I don't drive in the night. Because on 3 occasions I ran onto vehicles. I was sleepy.
No,
I have time for sleep. When it's 10 o'clock, I will lie down. Even for 1 hour, I'll get up. I'll pray. While I'm praying, and then I'll sleep again.
So you were not able to tell us who was involved in those tortures? But you said you eventually got to know after. Can you tell us who they were?
How I got to know? When the matter got to court,
you told names.
Their names were mentioned.
So
that was when I got to know that. Behold, these were the people who were torturing people.
So, can you give us those names?
I'm
about to mention the names. I had the name Sala. I had the name Huruhara.
Tell us what does the first name was.
Just a second.
Yes.
Are these the names in the court now that we have constrained on? If that is the case, I think we should observe that. But I don't know if they had the names.
Let me just confirm with the witness. Are you referring to the Yankuba Baji case that is currently going on at the High Court?
Chairman come for them indiko for ning either left a kind tour more for the Wallem mold many alonco, Wallebe in Kitty on a sign and Jana Council come for Nifoebe, Yankuba Baji now doing your cotton will be Kitty Lankiti Bumbar for a case Lelabang.
If that is the case, then do not mention their names.
Ning either one moldy or honey me told for.
Because it's an ongoing case, and we have decided not to mention their names. Thank you. Thank you. I think we can now move on. You have mentioned a lot of people that you have seen during the course of your employment at the NIA who were detained. I believe I'll just read them out for you, and then you can confirm whether or not you saw them at some point being detained at NIA. You don't have much details concerning them, but just the fact that you actually saw them there and they were detained at some point.
Yeah, for Janko, what mena ye wadi jango membeke do kola NIA sanjitang anu goro ulo nyimbeko no ya fo nye Janko ye mo jamal na de ye sindije ke marani ye fo wati jang silang ye tol dinnal no silang bina o tol lel fole jang ye kuma de killing ninga dra hakilo momo toron morondin to muta aku tol kono ngamen fo jang isa tonya yande.
You mentioned that you saw Ensa Baji, former IGP.
Ya fo ko ye Ensa Baji je me yalanko atele munung police la nyaton kotino.
Silaba Samate.
Yes. Anin Silaba Samate.
Fafa Sanyang, you said once Minister of Energy.
Fafa Sanyang me yalanko anana kita na Minister me yalanko atele Marlin Tuluma fengolla.
Yes. He was arrested with more than 20 other people, including Cherno Marina, the Solicitor General at the time.
Ya muta aning me alonko abita bila mu amfangola abe kono Solicitor General me alonko Cherno ikafa Cherno Marina.
Pahari Jame.
Yes.
Pahari Jame.
Former Solicitor General.
Menna na kita nung Solicitor General ti.
You also mentioned the Imam Ba Kausu, who was detained twice.
Ye Imam Ba Kausu fanam fojang ko mole mate fanande ya muta sinyafula ka sindidlo akeling.
Yes.
Sidia Jata and Halifa Sallah of the Doi Party.
Sidia Jata aning Halifa Sallah men yalonko ibota patioto ikafme Doi.
Yes.
Usainu Dabo and Kemeseng Jame.
Usainu Dabo aning Kemeseng Jame.
Yes. And many other people who you do not either remember or you did not know them personally were at some point either detained or maltreated, tortured at the NIA, and you observed it.
Ani mo koten Jamal me yalonko dolbe je ite hakilo te mutan wala fam me yalonko ye nadi NIA je ye mutan ni nyala me yalonko maral nya jawlam ye muta je nyame wato me be Morocco no je.
Yes.
And I believe you have already confirmed through the questions I asked you previously that illegal detention as well as torture was commonplace at the NIA. We have already established that.
And njikira nyinela ko ye intuanya yandile ko mantonu kabringe nyiningaro ko nyiningaro la ko mantonu ko NIA nuntonu menu beke membe keri ni nyolen kamol muda ke na ke sindije nyala me alon ko luanta yale andu luwa mansong ala fanang isonta walale.
Yes.
Your acquaintances have been victims as well as close family members of yours.
andung mol naade je me yalon ko daltelale andung inila dolbeje la family la dimbalo inila dimbal be ke naade je ke marande je
yes. You have also been a personal victim.
Andu ite fam kundon keta molde me yalon ko koleya nyin anana lati kanne.
Can you tell us when you were detained at the NIA?
Silam fo isa fo no yete fam kundon wata jumalem inana yete fam mutaje yesindi je.
We will start with that before we go into your other detention.
Mba folo la wala jandim bita ila mutar dol la.
Okay. My
first arrest
on Thursday
was on a Thursday.
Mr. Jame, I believe that was your second arrest at the NIA.
No, NIA is one, Welcomes is one.
NIA is one, Welcome is one.
Okay, which happened first?
Jumala follow keta. NIA tala keta bam fo
Welcomes.
Welcome happened first. So I want you to start with number 2, which is the NIA.
You follow NIA, mem mutafulanja wani.
NIA.
At the NIA.
Natale on Wednesday.
I came on Wednesday.
Konyoko DDG Koita.
And I was told that the DG asked for me to go to him.
Do you remember the date?
I've forgotten the date, but not the day. It was on a Thursday. On Wednesday. And they told me that the DG said you should go.
DDG.
The DDG.
Deputy.
I went there. He said to me that we have received a complaint that the meat you sold here,
you did not pay for it.
I said I have paid for it. I said, yeah, Jame's property. If you do not want to go to mile 2, you desist from his property. I said to him, that was why when I was ready, it was during the weekend, but I came on Monday and made the payment. I went and made the payment. By the grace of God, he said to me, you have not paid. I said, I have not paid, really? I asked him, who said I did not pay? I told him, I have the receipt. Let me go and collect it.
No.
He said no.
James.
He called James and told him that take this man on light detention. Let him be there and waste the entire weekend. Let him waste the entire weekend.
How long were you detained at the NIA?
No, 4 days. 4 days.
I spent 4 days there.
And you were eventually released?
I was released eventually.
Were you charged with any offense?
Up to date.
During that time, did you have access to your family or to a lawyer or anything?
Never happened.
And what was the accusation, just so that we are clear? You mentioned a bull.
The bull, by the grace of God,
almost 15 years.
Almost 15 years. I noticed that the cost of meat was very high. And I used to go. My father rears animals. When the fasting period is approaching, I try to secure at least 20 or 15 bulls. I used to put them aside so that I could slaughter them later on and make the cost of a kilo cheap for people.
Mr. Sanneh, without going into the history of it, can you just tell us what actually brought about your arrest and detention at the NIA? Which particular case?
Janning manjara purunga tawaro ranka ko nyim fanu di baga say mun na sababu ila muto nyi na ko mun case jumal la ko sababu fo inara ni muta
ha olmu ya je metalde ko do nyim majo ko e ngajole.
That was the ones belonging to Jame. The accusation was that I did not pay him, and I told them that I have paid.
So you took a bull belonging to Yaya Jame?
No, I was there. When betrayal is about to come your way.
Mr. Sanneh, were you given a bull that belonged to Yaya Jame to sell?
No, they slaughtered it, whether it was a bull or whatsoever, but they brought the meat to me.
But did it belong to Yaya Jame?
It belonged to Yaya Jame.
So you sold it?
I sold it.
What was the arrangement after you sell it? What was supposed to happen?
What they agreed them. I will sell it. It was on a Friday. I will sell it. On Monday, and I send the money to where it's supposed to go to.
And did you do that?
Okay. I did that.
And despite that, you were arrested?
That's what I'm saying. When betrayal is about to come your way,
almost 15 years.
Someone who was bringing cattle for almost 15 years, and you tell the person, don't do that this year. This year I will do it. And then you tell me again to sell it. I used to sell my own, and sometimes I run at a loss. But I know that is the making of God. Because if you want to help Muslims, especially during the month of the fasting month, I see that
at least
the price of my meat in the Gambia here, that is nowhere comparable.
Because for another
they came, they told me that your meat is cheaper than Yaya Jame's. Be careful, this is not safe. I told them what God destines will happen. I came. I used to sell my bulls there. But they came and told me this year, don't bring your cattle.
Okay, Mr. Sanneh, thank you very much. I think we understand, because you did tell us that it was you took Yaya Jame's bull, you sold it, and then gave the proceeds to him, but you were unfairly accused, basically, of not paying.
No, sila iya fo jango bari ko nyala bon ko yeme ye infonyela ko ya jamela ninso tale ya ta ya wafi bari ko doni ita ko ya sendi de to ko ma sendi narana tumiro le kan ko ima sendi.
And after you were arrested, were you eventually released?
Yes, they released me.
And why did they release you?
I don't even know the reason why. But when they released me, I did not let the matter lie.
Did they realize that actually you were telling the truth?
Yes, you know when the incident happened, that's why I'm saying to you, the betrayal was cooked up a long time ago. When I came to this man, I told him I have paid already. I told them to allow me to go and pick up the receipt. I went and brought it back. Behold, there was a particular person there whose interest was to see that I was arrested.
So they did not investigate the matter properly. They did not look at the receipt. They just arrested you and detained you.
That was what happened.
And in your view, was that wrong or correct?
That was wrong.
Kindly tell us about your second detention. And because this has to do with another institution and not the NIA, I would really urge you to be brief. So I would like to guide you so that I can get direct answers from you. When did that was your first arrest, in fact. We had gone to the second one before coming to the first. Do you remember the date of your first arrest?
I don't remember.
Okay, can you tell us what led to your arrest?
My arrest?
What were you accused of?
The accusation was I was at home. I had closed from work.
Around 8.
Around 8. Fodebari called me and asked where I was. I told him I was home.
And who was Fodebari?
At the time,
down to Holgams.
He was at Holgams. He was the boss of the place.
And Holgam was an institution of which particular department?
Niko Holgam doku bunda jumal de mealonka abe doku bunda jumal lokoro.
In the drug squad.
It was under the drug squad.
All right.
He called me. When he hung the phone, operation called me.
Pate.
At the time he was operation.
Of which particular department?
Drug squad.
Drug squad. He called me. Asked me, where are you? I told him I am home.
Did they arrest you?
Yes, they arrested me.
And where were you taken to?
They took me to Kanifing.
And Kanifing where? What's the name of the place they took you?
Holgams.
At Holgams.
Holgam.
So,
were you detained?
Yes, in the jail. I was detained there.
For how long?
Almost 3 to 4, almost 1 month.
Almost 1 month.
And were you detained with other people?
Yes, it's more than 10 people, if I don't forget.
Were you told the reason for your detention?
You didn't tell me that.
Did you eventually get to know?
Yes.
Okay, can you tell us what they accused you of?
I was there. And I said to Fodebari, it's about prayer time.
Is too much.
And the money I spend is too much.
Because
I am used to our staff.
In Mr.
Sanneh, what were you accused of?
They said that someone told them that I brought drugs there and cannabis sativa. I asked them what day. They said that they said it was the Saturday that I brought the drugs. I said to him that I said if that should happen, then I am a very foolish person. Someone that sells cannabis outside to come and sell it in the NIA. Especially when they said it was a vehicle full of cannabis.
Can you tell us how those allegations came?
The way they came, they arrested people.
No, I mean the allegations of you selling drugs at the NIA.
Okay.
How did they come about? There was someone saw me offloading materials from which was sugar.
Almost 275 or 250 bucks.
I think I bought about 250 or 275 bucks that I bought.
Former president
The former president, who was Jawara, he wrote a check for me and told me that I want sugar, which I will distribute to my people in the provinces. I want, after you bought it, I do not know how much you would sell it to me for. I asked him, what is the amount that you need? I said, I will not sell it to you. I told him that the price that I buy it for, let me check. The amount that you need, write that on the check. You wrote that on the check? Standard Chartered.
So, Mr. Sanneh, eventually you bought the bags of rice and sugar for the ex-president Jawara.
Amunta konyi be nya labawo nyi inara na sukuro ni mano sang president nundo president membe nunja walem sadawra kaira ba Jawara.
Ni mano teje sukuro le be moldi. Sukuro kono len.
It was not rice. There was no rice, only sugar.
It was just sugar. And what happened when you took it to the NIA premises?
Sila muna nara na ke biriyo samba NIA la korda bato je.
Ngasamba je.
I took them there. After taking it there, I was offloading. I had my list with me. And the numbers of the people, the customers were there. I said to them that this sugar, there is nowhere to keep it. This is not a shop. I'm just doing it here to assist you.
In 6 months.
So that if anyone needed a bag or two, I can give it to you and you pay me back in 6 months' time.
Mr. Sanneh, why were you bringing your private business into the premises of the NIA?
Mr. Sanneh, sila muna ya sabu ite fang kungo ila business o ila julaya iko na di NIA la sansan kono.
Mi asabu.
The reason was,
when
you are not in a particular place, you don't get to know the place.
Because
I used to pity people. That was why I was not selling it there. As they are offloading them, if you are standing there yourself, you'll sympathize some people. Some people are there, they come and carry them on their heads themselves, so that they could take them. And if they demand for 3 bags, I'll tell them no. I don't have the money.
Why were you bringing your private business into the premises of the NIA, which was your workplace, essentially? That's my question. Was that
the
right thing to
do? No.
Okay.
Well, the reason why I did it, I don't have anywhere to keep it, to store it.
And during the course of you offloading and uploading those bags, what happened? Did someone see you and was a complaint made against you?
Say muna na gabiri wato mena ebe obotol nyin sarse da ni be jindila wato mena from mola sort of me alonko ay wosida ke akonyin to ba.
Yes.
Security be yele?
Security, we are there.
Didn't from Bissell on Anyabina?
They were the detainees in the cells who were also seeing me.
And what was the complaint that was made?
They said that
I've been there almost 2 weeks.
After 2 weeks, they told me that those bags of yours, they said it's drugs and cannabis. And I said to them, then you don't know your work. The very day that this thing happened, the bags that I distributed to people, I have the names of those individuals in my memory. Call all of them to come back. And those that I gave to the former president, I have not written it down, but I have the amount in my memory. I said to them that this matter, what is inside it, tell me. Because two losses, that is what was coming my way. I will lose the sugar, and secondly, my sheep too, I will lose them. Because at that time I had already bought some sheep.
Almost 250 Sarjo.
Almost 250 sheep.
For instance, almost 15 years. Ani be Sarjo on the office la.
Iko ismo asiara sanjita ni lulti.
Lulti Sarjo every salon nakana nkamulundala 6 months.
And I've been doing that for almost 15 years. When the Trrc is approaching, I used to loan it out to people to pay me back in 6 months' time.
Mr. Sanneh, let me just help you here. So as a result of your unlawful arrest and detention, which you were eventually cleared of,
Mr. Sanneh barungi mako janko comme tumala menda ila o mutonyi mialon ko atata ni silo le yanko ani luanyi manta.
You had huge losses in your business.
Amunta yo anarana ke bulu fo balti ila julaya kono.
Bake.
Yes, very much.
And this was in relation to your sheep selling business.
Ni sujita menna wala mila saji wafo me ikamenke.
Can you estimate the cost of loss that you incurred?
Foisa yirka no
The
bang.
amount?
Foisa yirka no nyela bang ye fo menke la julaya nyin kono ye fo agum fodo nanga mo men ifo tala sa yirka no nyene ba.
Na jero ngakolo mbondi.
According to my observation, the money that I spent
Na profito.
and my profit,
Kada nyao.
however you evaluate it,
Anyana fonde sila wala 4 plus.
it should be 400 or 4 plus.
Because muna kada.
Because what happened was,
Otumo Sarjo damen kada.
at the time, the cost of a sheep
Was not like this.
was not like this.
Sarjo niyasan juna.
If you buy a sheep earlier,
4,000 or 3,500.
4,000 or 3,500,
Kadi na mola office 6 months 5,000.
and I used to give to my people in the office to pay me back in 6 months' time at a cost of 5,000.
But that was the total cost, basically, of the loss you estimate.
Omunyi koronyi yirko build ni aka funyo ma ifota mena ngamre wala fotem fo.
Kam for wala ha.
Yes, what I lost, yes.
So eventually, you were released from detention at Holgam.
Nya laba onyi inara nebula Morocco no holgam.
Ay yatambula.
Yes, I was released
And
eventually.
during this time, you said it was a period of about 1 month. Was your salary stopped? Were you indicted or anything like that?
Nyim wato nyimbe akomodela Morocco no je atata fo karkiling. Fo ila joning ya kuntula bang fo ye sindi wala nyama bang fo ye salary nyim fana fo ya kuntula bang fo ya kenyadi.
Ni makundu.
No, my salary was flowing.
So they continue to pay you.
Munde tententa kejo.
You were not dismissed.
Me bay.
Membai.
So
was
you
not
went back
dismissed.
to work afterwards?
Emurunda do kola ko nyin kere kola.
Mura do kola.
I returned back to work.
Comme mem fonyola.
I wanted to resign.
Go makoro.
I said assistance.
Ibola.
That was what I was doing.
Ngaje ko ala mem fo comme ça ani mi poto yodi mola sun koro kono.
And I said what God says, even if you should offer somebody a cup of sugar during the fasting period,
Sakolle
it's much more if you should give them meat or ram.
So okay okono.
In that,
Nkoyo ko.
I said to them,
Ale min keren.
what you did like this,
De mem fonyola.
I would resign.
Ngamul makoy.
I have assisted people,
Nditat modi min kan tendu.
and there is nobody who praises me.
O na kondo kaje always dum kasaro kono daga.
But all they do is to see that all the time I get into losses.
Ngoy ko ndeka lonel ta bank.
I told them that I used to take loan from bank
Ani credit union.
and from the credit union,
Ani ko rek na business ndadu ngado ko ngamule outside.
and also the small businesses that I perform for for people outside.
So ngoy ko saying
I said to them, now,
alendebula salo da 1 week.
here you are, you've put me in a situation just a week before the prayer time.
Saying tem
Right now,
ndela be on ngadi minna.
my animals that I gave to people,
Nindaji ni matra jedu.
Okay. Mr. Sanneh, you
What about-
already told us about the losses that you incurred in respect of your animals.
Yeah,
And
fanyele if you for menge kasujini ngila da fengolla.
You've also shared some of your personal feelings about, what happened to you.
Anu ya fanyele fanango ite fan kundingo ilon ye kolayal men taki.
Why did you continue to work with the NIA for so long after everything that had happened to you and some of your close relatives and all of the things that you saw happening? the illegal detentions as well as the torture? Why did you continue to work?
Muna ya sabu hani kabi tenten ka dogo ke NIA je nyunkul min be ya lon ko ikeda je ye sede ya ifango badingol na raje ye mutaje anu ye dafango mutaje hani kabi tenten ka dogo ke NIA je mbe ntembo meto muna hani kabi tenten ka dogo ke je nyunkul min be kede la nyame ifota ila fengola o nyaaw nyabe dogo la je muna yo sabu
natro ko
if at all that very day if I had resigned, what I'm saying would not have been this.
Because
at the NIA, I'm a junior officer, but I'm also senior. Because what obtains there, the trust that people have on me. In fact, the day that I decided to resign, you would think that there was a funeral inside the NIA complex. People told me that if you resign, we will resign. There were people who said to me, if you resign, you are going to life in jail.
No, you will not enjoy your life.
Or you will not enjoy life. And I agree. I went and lied down. Before I lay down, I performed ablution. And then I came. I saw it in a dream. I saw laughter. I said, what they are saying is the truth. I decided not to resign. As for now, whether it's pleasant or bitter, I will just take it and lift everything in the hands of God. This was the reason why I am still there up to date.
And can you tell us what impact your personal experience in terms of your unlawful detention and everything you experienced at the NIA, what impact this has had on your life?
Ela muto me alon ko ani luwa mantanyo me mu luwan tay yade mutoro men kela ani ke sindi dula kilin ay mun kole akul sabu ma ila baluwo kono
na bulu fa mun ko ma min kerek.
The setbacks that I experienced
in my life
cuz ala de maroto
by the grace of God,
ngani fonko kele atibang bidigol fam mule mi alon ko ninga ni wikeno ko nimbida ninga min soto ngasa mbakasula ngasa mo nyola kiang puna bitiko.
I had a shop in Kiang which I used to buy materials or items when I'm going to Kiang on weekends, and I used to sell there.
Asabu,
and that was the reason why
it
brought hardship on my side. Those that we are having my debts, those that I also gave things to safekeep for me, I found that some people had already spent that money. People thought that I was not going to be released. And my vehicles, I found all of them. I did not find them in a proper state. That was the reason why it brought setback on my life. If not for the sheep,
I am without sheep.
Okay, I don't have sheep. I don't have my money. My garage too was closed. What closed it was, if people come to you for a particular business, and each time they come, they are not pleased with the service, that person runs away from you. Because work is intention. You see someone who knows, who is well qualified in work, or is very endowed academically, if the intention is not there.
And who do you hold responsible for everything that happened to you?
Ite jumale jalai goto dunoni ya jumale o jalai roni ite jumale chudi wala
ya jamme.
Why are you saying that? What did he have to do with your unlawful detention?
Ay muna bulu soto ila mutaro me alon ko luanta yala
iko
They said that he was the one who said that all of us should be arrested. The arrest?
Almost 20 people were arrested.
20 people were arrested.
Are you referring to the Holgam arrest or the other one?
No,
Holgams.
I'm referring to Holgam.
Okay.
Pick up.
A pickup?
Only full escort.
With a full escort? Paramilitary officers armed with guns. You would think that I have killed a person. The T-shirt. The T-shirt. They told me to come and meet them along the way. They saw me and they all cocked their guns. I said to them, what's the matter?
We are under arrest.
Pate said to me, you are under arrest.
Mr. Sanneh, are we going back?
Mr. Sanneh,
let's try and move forward.
Okay.
Let's go on.
Yes, I think that really we've come to the end of your testimony.
Okay,
I mean, you will have a chance to give some final remarks at the end. So perhaps if you have anything else to say, you can do that then. Thank you very much. Mr. Chairman, I hand over the witness to you.
Thank you, Counsel, and thank you, Mr. Sanneh, for your testimony.
Kiaman ko inumbarabake council inumbarabake Mr. Sanneh memuide sedodi pour ila seda ndiroro.
Commissioners, if you have any questions to ask, please indicate.
Silang commissional ninga tra momo nyini karo soro sedo isa itandi.
Otherwise, if you have any concluding remarks to make, Mr. Sanneh, please proceed to make them now.
Ni wonde Mr. Sanneh saying about tumala men na commissional moman soro membe nyini kala kumo itamuru itasubu kumo isa da soro.
Please. You have the floor, Mr. Sanneh.
I have something to say. I greet all the commissioners. I hail them all. Pray to God for long life and good health. What is in the whole matter? The person who is on the side of truth, if you give that person the benefit of his truth, it pleases the heart. If you look at things, the way your head here is like, the imams are here, other people are here. The reason for that is so that the country we now become people who come from the same father and mother.
Because
that is the reason why.
Because
if you are on the side of truth, you would have some people who will praise you. All the people that come here, if you say you are going to praise them, if they say that they are going to praise you, there are others who are outside who are not praising you. What I have is to speak to my younger siblings so that our fathers, our mothers, who was the one sitting here, so that we come together and be people from the same father and mother. Because what has passed, if anybody says that that has not hurt them, if I said the person, Nico, there's no person here whom you know that, if his or her relative has not been arrested, they would have arrested his or her friend. If they have not arrested their friend, they will arrest a relative.
So,
if you have a situation like that, the TRRC, from the chairman I'm greeting all of you.
Pour moi cela aussi mayala.
So that God will give you long life.
Fana mimi from koma.
And those behind,
comme ça ikana na jusola.
Let them not come here with temper.
Momo ina.
Let each one of them come
Yaje ko.
And see to it that it's my fathers who are here and my mothers who are here. And I know that people are here sitting. If I should say that all those who came here, the people here are not of their father's age or the age of their mothers, it will be difficult. Because someone who is of the same age with your father is also your father. Your mother too, the same thing. So let us try and tell each other the truth. And if you also want to further the cause of Islam, you must speak truth to each other. Those who have not done well, you tell them, let us not do it with bad temperament. Temperament, the person who is on the side of right, if you come here with that kind of temper, it will diminish your truth from you. Secondly, the people of the TRRC, let them speak out. Let us reside well amongst each other. This person is this thing, and this person is this thing. All of us come from Adam. Let us try and live together well. Let's return to Islam. That this person is a Muslim, this person is a Christian. Let us do away with that and just see ourselves as people who come from the same father and mother. And what we are seeking, God will make it happen for us. It will take time, but a day will come, all of this will come to an end. And we will be thinking of something else. This is the message I have. I thank you. I hail you. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed, Mr. Sanneh, for your testimony and for those very wise concluding remarks.
Mr. Sanneh ila sedandiroto anila kumakang hakili malto.
Our task here essentially is to focus on promoting healing and reconciliation.
Na do ko mende jawala nyinti ko ka kidimandiro ke jara lola anen kamurunyo kan ko la menu keta,
as well as to prevent the repeat of violations and abuses of human rights that occurred in this country.
Anim fanan ka bantambire ke ko la men yalon ko hada badi nyanti tinyal me yalon ko keta imbankun kanjang kur kaje ko o kul ikana murun kan murnan jang imbankun kanjang ko denke.
We appreciate your contribution to establishing this historical record.
Anin kabi ila lafandango nying nasiyo nying kono nga tale andu nga bunyale fanang puru benna kul tamandila nyame puru kaje ko katari ka lorengo sabatindi banko kan.
We thank you very much for your testimony.
Be numbara bake ila sedandiroto.
We will resume our proceedings tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock.
Silambe luku lola janne ngana murna jan sama somanda talantang nadia da alay.
Meeting is adjourned.